Good morning, everyone. Myself, Ashu Sharma. I welcome you all series of database connection, MySQL and Python. Today we will learn read operation. It is very important operation. Previously, we have seen that once we create that table and we perform that certain basic concepts of JAMP server and we perform that how to create table. Once we see that select is there, but whenever we are using certain restrictions like where and limit, so we can fetch data on the basis of those constraints, those restrictions. So today we will see read operation, and we have to fetch all data which is in the table and fetch that respective to one row or fetch that with all rows present in the table. We will see that using where clause, if specific that condition is satisfied, those rows are going to be displayed. So there are some other methods like fetch all and fetch one. So we will use that significance of those methods as well. Let's start with some of the briefings first. Here, this is the read operation for reading specific columns. We can read the specific columns by mentioning their names instead of using asterisk or star. So if you put names over there, then you will able to fetch the results. Suppose in previous table we have taken name, ID, department ID, salary, such column fields. So we can use those fields for this purpose rather than using asterisk star. Next is the fetch one method. The fetch one method is used to fetch only one row from the table. The fetch one method returns the next row of the result set. As its name suggests us that it is used to fetch one row of the table and return the next row of the result set. Next one is formatting the result. Formatting is very important for outcomes. We have to use format specifier. Suppose %s, %d, such specifiers we require when we present a result. So we can format the result by iterating over the result, which is produced by fetchall or fetch one method of cursor object, since the result exists as the tuple object which is not readable. So to increase that readability for proper format outcome, we use this technique, formatting the result. Move to the next slide. Using where clause, we can restrict the result produced by select statement by using the where clause. This will extract only those columns which satisfy the where condition. So if that where condition satisfied, it will extract those columns. Next one is ordering the result. The order by clause is used to order the result. Order by decreasing DESC. So this orders the result in the decreasing order of a particular column. So these are specific tricks and techniques that we may use when we perform read operation into table. Now we will see different examples, programming example, and try to understand the results of them using these functions and different techniques. I'm just sharing that Jupyter notebook. That's it. So here the first example, and this example is of fetchall. So here we have very first import MySQL.connector, then create the connection object myConnection and pass these four parameters: host name, username, password, and database. This is the database I have created initially, test. Now we create the cursor object using this cursor method. There is a try reading the employee data, cursor dot execute. With the help of this cursor object, we call this execute method and select a star from employee. Fetching the rows from the cursor object. So because we have to fetch all the rows, that's why we are using fetch all. And printing the result, we are using for loop x in result. So row wise, that result is going to assign, and iterator will work and print the result. If something which is not desirable, then it roll back. And finally, when it commit this whole process, myConnection.close. MyConnection is that connection object, MyConn, this connection object, this connection object. So it is closed. So when we run this segment, when we run this script, we will get these 5 rows from that database of given table employee, as we have seen in yesterday class. So you may practice from previous videos as well. So all 5 rows has been displayed with their values: name, ID, salary, department ID, and that location. So this is the way we are using fetch all to fetch all the rows. Now the next example is, as I said you, rather than using asterisk star as we have seen here in previous example, this one, we are putting names, name ID, name, ID, and salary, because these 3 column fields we want to fetch. So we just give this name, ID, and salary from employee. Employee is a table. So we have done same sort of thing over here. First create the connection object, then create the cursor object, and here we have a try reading the employee data. With the help of cursor object, we call execute, select name, ID, salary from employee. Finally, fetch the rows from the cursor object, assign to result. For x in result, print x, except myConnection.rollback. If something is not desirable, then it roll back whole operation, and myConnection.close. So finally, we get the outcome: name, ID, and salary. These 3 column fields. Because of fetch all we have used, so we get result of all 5 rows on the basis of this name that we have given, name, ID, salary from employee. So this is that second example. You have to execute. You have to check your XAMPP server should be in active state along with MySQL. Then you fetch these results once you run these queries. So on your machine, XAMPP server should be active, should be in run mode, along with Apache and MySQL inside that both should be start when you run these queries. Now the next example is fetch one. Only one row is going to be fetched. So we have similar sort of code. We are using naming approach over here, name, ID, and salary. So we get this zone 102 and 2500 like that. The first row is going to be this. So this is the example of fetch one. Here we have used fetch one method and print the result. So we get this only three fields because we only given name of name, ID, and salary. That's why it is given us three fields. Now the next example. This is the example of that given formatting. We are using format specifier over here. So start with same sort of approach. MySQL.connector is going to be import, then create connection object, then create cursor object, and within try execute to read the employee data, name, ID, and salary from employee table, fetching the rows from the cursor object. We call this method fetchall using cursor object, and then print name, ID, and salary with specifier %s, %d, %d. These are format specifier, row 0, row 1, row 2. And then finally close that connection object once this process is over. So here we get the outcome. So if you see, if you compare this format outcome with this, in the previous results, we have this decimal, but now it is integer like that. So that format specifier just using that type, data type of that given values in the table. According to this, it just casts them and display the result. Now move to the next segment. This segment is again basically we are using name, ID, salary from employee, where name like J starts from J. So this is the example that we are using where clause, and we want to fetch the results from the table where name like J. So name starts from J. So only two rows has been fetched because of only two rows. Name has been start from J. If you compare with previous result, John is appearing two times. That name starts from J. Next is David, Nick, and Mike. So it is only given us those rows in which name starts from J. So this is the example of where clause. Now in the next case, we are putting where ID in 101, 102, 103. So in that table, those rows having these IDs, 102 and 103 is only there. So it is giving us these two rows as fetching results. If we see that, so we do not have 101 ID. That's why we only have 102 and 103. So it is given John and David as, if you see the result, this is the result. John and David, John having 102, David having 103. 101 ID is not present in the table. That's why we didn't have that row, only two rows in the outcome. Now move to the next. This is that example. We are given that order by name. So we are using order by, and on the basis of name, it is just given us result. And because that we have given three fields, name, ID, and salary, that's why name, ID, and salary, and it is in the outcome. simply we execute this fetch all, and finally using for loop row in result with format specifier, we are able to display these results from the table. In the next segment, we are using order by name DESC, decreasing order. So if you see the result, it is almost similar, only this order by, in the previous example, order by name like that. In this example, order by this name DESC, decreasing order. So here, if we see the result that David at the end, D in alphabetical order, D comes first, so D at the end because of it's a decreasing order. Then John, then Mike, then Nick. From D to N, it is from bottom to top. So in this way, this result is going to be this. So this is that we have as an outcome of different functions when we perform read operation into table. I'm just sharing you that table also. This is the database name test. I'm just expanding this, and this is employee table name, from which this is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are values that we insert in previous videos, and today we perform read operation. So this is that we have for this session. Thank you so much. If you like these videos, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you may get notification when I upload new video. Your support and suggestions are always welcome to me. Thanks a lot. Good day.